Alright, a kids movie. Wait, does that mean I can't fucking swear in this one? Fuck. Kubo and the Two Strings is a movie I was actually a little bit apprehensive about. Not because I didn't think it would be good. I mean, even if I wasn't totally in love with the box trolls, Leica animation is pretty much batting 1,000 at this point. And plus, I'm the kind of guy who'd watch a documentary about elephant dung cleanup if you stuck the words magical samurai armor somewhere in there. But just because you can sometimes see something straining not to be just good, but applauded for the stature of those aspirations, and it can be a little off-putting. And let's face it, nothing sends Western animation producers into unprecedented cringe mode more reliably than tackling Eastern mythology, and the spectacle of a studio that openly fancies itself to be the artisanal Pixar doing their best Studio Ghibli impression absolutely had the potential to bring out the innate inferiority complex that manifests itself in Western animators, overcompensating with an urge to prove that one was in fact into anime before DBZ launched stateside. What an immense joy then to discover that Kubo and the Two Strings is one of the sharpest movies of 2016 and easily the best animated offering of the summer. And no, not just because the only competition was a sequel and a movie about sexually adventurous groceries, because I like both of those too, but Kubo is absolutely something special. A combination of the sort of delicate, character-driven art piece that Leica has always thrived on, and a deceptively simple hero's journey story with enough big action and sly humor to potentially gift the critically hailed animation studio its first out-and-out blockbuster. I mean, is it as good as Paranorman was? Well, hell no, but nothing's as good as Paranorman was. It's easily, however, the best Leica has pulled off otherwise since Coraline, proving that these people know their stuff and can deliver, even if you're not 100% on board with their whole Whole Foods to Disney 7-Eleven self-image. I mean, let's face it, this is just about the only studio in Hollywood for whom setting a kids movie to a George Harrison song covered by Regina Spektor is not exactly a surprising move. An original story borrowed copiously from a grab bag of Japanese folklore influences, Kubo is about a kid with an eye patch living in a remote Japanese fishing village who uses his magical ability to bring origami creatures to life with his guitar, you just kinda have to go with this stuff, to support his similarly magical but injured and increasingly distant mother as a street performer, entertaining villagers with epic stories he's unable to finish because his mother will not allow him to stay out after dark. A rule whose purpose becomes frighteningly clear when he breaks it for the first time ever and immediately finds himself set upon by demonic beings of godlike power who want to steal his remaining eye. That's creepy. Rescued by his mother's timely intervention, Kubo is dispatched to find means of protecting himself by reuniting a set of magical armor bequeathed to him by his father, a legendary samurai warrior said to have died defending him and his mother. Eventually joined by powerful allies in the form of Charlize Theron's monkey and Matthew McConaughey's half-insect warrior Beetle, he sets out to find those treasures and destroy his enemies once and for all. So, not exactly the most original storyline on the planet. In fact, from a certain perspective, it's basically an unofficial Legend of Zelda movie, but the story isn't really the point. The point here is to savor the intricately animated action sequences and drink in the potent mood of the piece, which brings a kinetic edge to Leica's signature detail-heavy, slightly melancholic production design. In that respect, it's probably the best Zelda movie anyone's gonna make anytime soon, so you might as well take it as one. Where flaws exist is indeed on the narrative side, inasmuch as a pair of twists involving Monkey and Beetle are a little too easy to guess for older audiences, and Act 3 relies way too much on those fantasy quest scenarios where people suddenly grasp arbitrary rules of magic because the plot needs them to. Those are minor quibbles though, and it's worth it to sable great vocal turns like Theron's stoic badass monkey, Rooney Mara as a pair of creepy twin henchwomen who will be a big hit on the cosplay circuit. Besides, the real reason to watch Leica movies is to ogle the production design, which, as ever, simply stunning here, and to marvel at the incredibly detailed stop-motion animation. As with previous features, the meticulously constructed models and astonishing 3D printed facial expressions make very little attempt to hide their handcrafted artificial origins, which turns even the subtlest scene into a jaw-dropping spectacle of sheer human effort. Whether we're staring slack-jawed at the superhuman level of commitment it must have gone into making strands of hair and billowing robes move realistically, or thrilling fight scenes that are as intricately choreographed as anything in the live-action or anime canon. One showstopper in particular is said to involve the largest individual stop-motion puppet ever animated, and there's a traditional Leica "here's how we pull that off" mid-credits demonstration that made me gasp out loud, and it will figure prominently in the origin stories of an entire generation of animation professionals in years to come. Now yes, Fine, a stop-motion Miyazaki riff was always going to be gushed over by animation snobs no matter what, granted, but much like the otherwise entirely different Sausage Party, you can believe the hype on this one. Kubo and the Two Strings is one of the year's best films, a 3.5-star masterpiece that must be experienced in theaters. Highly recommended, check it out.